Hey gang, it's Maria here, and I'm joined by registered dietitian Lisa Cianfrini. And you know her, you've met her before. We've talked lots and lots of times about all kinds of things. So Lisa, we're heading in, as we record this now, it's it's actually Halloween today. We decided to dress up as normal people, but we're heading into the holidays. So I wanted to talk a little bit about just some strategies, for going into the holidays. Like, we're going to eat more than normal. I don't think it's realistic to say don't eat as much, but what should we do? Like, sort of pick our moments, or what's your advice?
Absolutely. There's actually been research done that shows that people do gain weight over the holidays, and the scariest part is we don't lose it. So we gain a couple pounds each year, and then a couple pounds each year. It adds up. So yeah, we're gonna eat more. It's the holidays, we celebrate, but there's some things that you can do to make sure that you still continue with your goals and still continue with your plan. So the first thing that I recommend is that people sit down and look at their holiday calendar. Look at when do you have work parties, when do you have family parties, what do you need to go to. So you know, okay, well, this week I have 3 dinners that I need to go to. So what am I gonna do to make sure that I still stay on track? Number one thing is, make sure you're still getting into the gym. That is really, really, really important. That's gonna forgive a lot. And then try to stick with still that 80-20. So when it's not the holiday parties, eat well. The holidays, eat kind of what you want a little bit, and we'll talk about that when you're at the holiday parties. But just because Starbucks has Christmas cookies right now doesn't mean that you need to eat them.
Right.
So, pick and choose. Keep that 80% really, really good when you don't have the parties, and then work on the 20. So in terms of that 20%, so 80% eat well, exercise all the time, 20% a little bit of flex.
Yeah.
So that's maybe one holiday party per week that you can kind of have what you want.
Yeah.
So pick it. Look at whose house you're going to. Well, maybe Auntie Sue's makes amazing pumpkin pie, but then you're going to Auntie Elizabeth's the next week, and she's not the best cook in the world.
Yeah.
So maybe you're going to go with Auntie Sue's. Pick where you want to use those extra calories.
Yeah.
And enjoy it. Enjoy the holidays. But the next day, get up and go to the gym.
I know.
The most important thing you can do after eating one of those meals, get up and go to the gym.
Yeah.
And then there's some holiday substitutions that we don't even really think about that can save you a lot of calories, a lot of fat, a lot of sugar. So some examples would be, if we think about appetizers, usually there's things like Swedish meatballs, some of those pastries, things like that. But then there's usually also a veggie tray.
Yeah.
Maybe a fruit tray. Maybe shrimp with some cocktail sauce.
Yeah.
So if we look at the better options out of those, the shrimp with cocktail sauce, it's pretty much protein.
Right.
So great choice. The veggies and dip. Veggies are awesome. A little bit of dip in there, okay to do. The pumpernickel bread and spinach dip, if anybody has that, pretty good to do. I'm Italian. We roast chestnuts.
Yeah.
They're actually a great source of a lot of minerals and fiber and some protein.
Cool.
So those would be better choices. I also tell people, don't go to the event starving. Have something before you go so you can make better choices. The second part with the appetizers, try to save the alcohol for the meal. When we have too much alcohol, we lose our inhibitions, we tend to overeat and make poor choices. So try to save that for the meal, so you eat something first so you got a good base.
Yeah.
And then with the meal, again, pick and choose what's important to you. Turkey is awesome for you, so definitely fill up on turkey. Mashed potatoes can actually be okay as long as we don't add a ton of butter, things like that to them. Use some chicken stock instead. Sweet potatoes, so good for us, just don't drench them in brown sugar.
Right.
And then include some vegetables in there as well.
Yeah. That sounds pretty good. So I like the one about the alcohol, because it's going to be higher in calories anyway, and then we tend to make worse choices once we've had a few bevies. And I wonder too, if working out even before you go to an event like that you know, because you feel so good after you work out, and then you're a little more hesitant to sort of undo some of the good work that you did. So if you make a deal with yourself, yeah, I'm going to go to this party and I'm going to eat what I wish. This is my one for this week, but I'm going to, you know, do a run before I go to the party, and I'm going to get up and work out the next morning. That probably, on two sides, it might help you work it off a bit, but help remind you, hey, don't just because it tastes really good, you know, go down the slippery slope.
I just want people to remember when they're doing it, absolutely, that is so true. And if you work out, you do some weights in there, your muscles are going to eat up whatever you eat afterwards. However, you have to still take into account calories. So people tend to overestimate the amount of calories that they burn. So they'll do an hour workout, and then they'll have a piece of pecan pie, and they'll have some brownies, and they'll have some ice cream. Well, you work out for an hour, you're maybe burning 600, maybe 1,000 calories based on your size and what you're doing. Well, a piece of pecan pie is like 400, 500 calories. So 2 slices of the pie, you're it. That's it. You're done.
You're done dinner.
So make sure that you know how many calories you're burning and how much is in the food you're eating. But it's a great approach. Absolutely. Physical activity, increase your physical activity levels over the holidays.